And what's up, my chaotic crew? Bentley Michaels here. Hey, did you enjoy Father's Day? Did you give cards? Did you get cards? Were there omelets? Oh, was there a hollandaise sauce? Were there mimosas? First and foremost, thank you everyone for downloading, for subscribing, for giving the likes. We still need those iTunes reviews. We still need those, Google Plus reviews, all of those things. But also, I want to give a shout out to our Wall of Heroes, our Patreon subscribers. Jonathan S., what up? RW, it's kind of like DW, Darkwing Duck. Hey, when you're in trouble, you know what I'm talking about. Ricky D, Nathan W, April S., all on our Wall of Heroes. If you want to get on our Wall of Heroes, it's $1 on Patreon. Plus, you get Unbriefing every Thursday. But that's enough of me. Let's get into this episode. 3, 2, 1.
In a vast landscape full of adventurers, you are now listening to the world of chaotic amateurs.
And welcome back to Chaotic Amateurs, iTunes, the internets. You know what? I'm just going to start saying the internet's #1 D&D 5e play podcast. To my right,
Caleb is Jamhorn Durrell.
Rhett is Duroc Dragonsbane.
Milo is Ren.
and I'm Bentley Michaels. I forget if I said that part. But hey, we're back. Another week, folks. And oh man, last time they got my boys, they got past the rope test, Ninja Warrior style. Style? What? Sure. Ninja Warriors. Okay. Everyone just give up. We're all dead.
I feel like every time you do that, I just want to say,
TPK.
hire him as a voice actor today.
Yeah, no. I hate talking fast and off the top of my head. It's my sweet dyslexia kicking in. But my boys, they got across the ropes. They went down into the trunk. From hunks of trunks, another hunk of a trunk. And they made up with the Resistance. They had Browernick. They had Jean-Claude Van Bloodsport, everyone's favorite character. Now that Lanston is gone. Nestler and Ian Earth was there. There's just,
My
bunch
girl.
of randos. Oh, yeah. Jamhorn's prospective new love. Will he buy her a ring? I don't know. Will he lose it in a lava pit? Who knows?
Probably.
And you learned a bunch of backstory information. You learned... You learned that Baramus is in the mayor's office. He brought the dragon to town to control the people. Ants all march in a line. If they're all afraid, when you control the fear and you control the threat, there's really no threat. But the people don't know that.
Cold beer, cold night, red pickup. The worst.
Oh, so ladies and gents, listening, my characters, Jamhorn's got a sweet bottle of wine, drinking it. Durrock got some vitamin R.
No.
And my boy Ren,
Also vitamin
with
R.
the rolling R, with the rolling rock.
For
you
rolling.
you guys are rested. You wake up in the morning feeling just like P. Diddy, and the adventure begins.
Did I experience anything with the sword?
I don't know. Did you attune to it?
I did, yeah. I spent some time in it.
Oh.
Because my grandfather told me. I spent as much time as I could. So
How long does it take you to rest?
it takes me 8 hours.
So I would suggest doing 8 hours rest and then X amount of time attuning.
Jamhorn, you're not here.
Honestly,
This is Caleb.
I feel like Duroc, it was the first thing he tried to do. And maybe he fell into the zone and fell asleep afterwards.
Roll me a D10.
Absolutely. 8.
Then you meditated for 8 hours in tuning with the sword. And you get a power-up.
What's
Write this down.
I don't have a pencil.
Oh, here we go.
Thank you. Thank you, Ren.
You now
Milo handed you the pencil. Just
Thank
so
you,
know.
Milo.
I can be
you
right.
now have comprehend languages. Once per day for a 1 hour duration, you can understand any language heard, any language written, as long as you're touching the surface of it, if it's written down. For 1 hour, once a day.
So you can't speak it, right?
He can communicate in it, yes.
Okay.
And he just has that forever?
As long as he has
he's
the
holding
sword.
the sword.
Okay.
So it's like if he's got the sword on his person and that sort of thing.
He's got a real smug look on his face right now.
You don't have to be like holding it so you're not like pointing at people like, I understand your language.
Yes, the Captain Kirk version of understanding languages.
Speak into the sword, please.
But if it's like in its sheath, it's on your person or whatever, and since you're attuned to it, yeah, you can. In order to cast a spell, you're going to have to hold it, but you don't have to draw it, but grab the handle. But after you've done it, as long as it's on your person, I'll give it to you. And remember that you have a +2 to all of your attacks with Draken's Toter, as long as you are rolling above a DC 10. Because it was a 12, but now that you've attuned to it more, it goes down. It's now a DC 10.
Okay, cool.
So a 2 in addition to his strength modifier.
Whatever
or
else
whatever.
that he's adding, he gets another 2 on top of it.
Just to be
Wowzers.
clear, because originally it was a +1 plus an extra 1 if I rolled above a 12. So
And now it's an automatic +2 if you roll above a 10. 10 or above.
great.
And that's plus the +1 that it already has. So
No, it's
total
it's just
+3?
it's an
It
automatic
accumulated.
+2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Automatic +2 with a smaller DC. And that's every strike you make with it.
And so is.
So roll 2 20s with it.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
So it's not his initial attack roll if it's above a 10, and then
Nope,
gets
he can
above
add
the
it to
AC.
whatever he wants, unless it's a crit fail, then he gets nothing.
Okay.
So whatever your normal sword bonus is, then add 2 on top of that. So if your normal, like, if I'm asking you to, with the sword bonus and it's, it's a +2, whatever it is, it's now a +4.
Okay.
Good? Good.
What is your plus?
For damage,
Yeah.
it's...
Or just for your attack.
Well,
roll.
my strength makes it a +5.
Okay.
So it's
your attack bonus is +5. So then
So
it's
now
a
it's a
+7.
Yeah.
As long as you get over a DC 10.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So
I'm gonna
you
try to
guys
steal that
wake
from
up. Durak, you were completely rested because you were in the trance. It was very elvish in nature, but I'm going to still, since it was 8 hours, you still had to do the whole 8 hours. Thank you, sir. You all come out to the, you all come out come out of the bunk area. There's some food being made. Breakfast is being made.
I'll kick in and help out.
Okay, what would you like to do?
Classic Ren. I'll jump in on the apple butter and maybe fry up some bacon back.
Okay.
Jamhorn's kind of lazily getting out of bed, rubbing his eyes, still in his
Okay.
underwear when he comes out to the table to see what's going on.
Okay.
Durak sleeps in the nude, so... but he dresses.
And if no one needs any help, I'll just kind of
No, they welcome your help.
Cool.
There's about 10, 12 people here. Like I said, the ones that you recognize, and you're all sitting around having breakfast now.
I wanna try to connect with somebody that I don't recognize.
Okay.
I was thinking of doing the same thing, but I thought that's way too Jamhorn of a thing to do. So I didn't say anything.
I got you. Yeah. Basically, I'm trying to make sure that everybody down here should be down here, is relatively trustworthy.
Okay.
Jamhorn would do
You know
this.
what I mean? I don't trust many people anymore, so
Understandable.
Okay. So
I'm gonna pull up a chair next to whoever is sitting at the table that I don't recognize.
all right. You just okay. So
That's it.
You've got breakfast, or
I expect it's gonna be served.
I serve you first.
Okay.
I give Ren a high five.
I kind of like awkwardly try to fist bump because that's what I was doing
we're
before.
Like spend a second trying to figure out
high five and then
yeah, and then I go for the fist bump and then it's a mess.
Okay. So you sit down next to a tiny, what looks like somewhat of a gnome, somewhat of an elf. You're not quite sure, but it's it's actually very confusing to you because the skin is lighter. The cheeks seem to be almost weirdly, red encircled, and you just hear, "Well, hi there. How are you?"
I'm good. My name's Jamhorn. What's your name?
My name's Buttons.
Buttons. That almost sounds made up.
No, Buttons Sugar Moon.
Sugar Moon?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry if this seems rude, but what are you?
Well, I'm a jolly little elf. Jamhorn puts down his bottle of wine.
It's like in disbelief. He's like,
wait a second.
okay, I've been drinking too much.
But I'm part elf. I can't say that I've ever seen an elf like you.
You've never heard of the jolly little elves?
No, I haven't. Are you from Laurelin or are you from somewhere else?
No, I'm from way up north, where it's very, very snowy.
Way
Jamhorn.
up north.
You've heard of the
Very-
legends of the jolly man who brings gifts to all the good children,
No, I haven't.
near the winter solstice.
No,
You've never heard of the North Pole?
no.
Did you not have a childhood, Jamhorn?
I did, but it was mostly spent training. We didn't have any inclination that there were jolly little elves anywhere, first of all, but elves outside of Laurelin.
You know what, Jamhorn? When next it comes close to the winter solstice, I'm going to make sure that he knows your name and brings you a gift.
Who's he?
Have you met my friend? He's right over there.
Oh my god, he's here?
No, not him.
Oh.
Him,
No,
capital H.
And then then you see like another little jolly looking elf like kind of waddle up and like sets his plate down. It's like, oh hi, how are you?
Okay, this is too much. What's your name?
My name's Ginger Nuts Muffin Scarf. Are you a new friend? I don't know. He doesn't
You know
seem
what?
to believe. He doesn't seem to believe. He doesn't seem to believe.
Buttons, Ginger Nuts, I have to say, it is a true pleasure to finally meet one of the jolly little elves from the north.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
I feel like a kid again, honestly.
Jamhorn puts his hands up and looks around like, am I the only one that doesn't understand what's going on?
He's like Ben when he doesn't understand little Sebastian.
Yeah, exactly. You guys just saw little Sebastian's ghost, and I'm like, okay, well, it's a pleasure to meet you guys. How did you get connected with Miss Browernick here?
Oh, Browernick. Well, we got places all over. The resistance is everywhere. It's got to be global.
It's global, Jamhorn.
Sorry, that sauce is messing with my voice. It's got to be global. But, the resistance is everywhere. We have to come together. We have to...
I can't take this anymore.
Jamhorn, show some respect.
We have to do everything we can to make sure the world is a better place.
Okay. Thank you for your patronage. I look forward to fighting
I'm not a subscriber.
along your patreon.com/chaotic amateurs. I look forward to fighting by your side, ?
Of course, we'll be right on the battlefield with you.
All right, I promptly find another open chair with nobody on either side and finish my breakfast.
And I'll just go ahead and, after I served everybody else, sit up next to you.
Okay, good. Thank you.
So you don't have to be alone.
Thank you.
All right, so you guys are just eating. What are you doing?
Yeah, just breakfast, and then we can go on
I'm
from there.
eating. I'm avoiding the meads and the ales this morning. I know, it's a big
They're not
shocker.
serving them, so that's easy.
Makes it a lot easier, yes.
It makes my diet so much easier.
I feel like Jamhorn, knowing that you're a fancy, you fancy yourself a morning mead. I'm asking, can we get this gentleman a mead?
Jamhorn, that's quite all right.
Browernick
What do
looks at you. Are you drinking in the morning now, Duroc?
I have been for a number of years,
Yeah,
yes.
he always does. What's wrong, buddy? Why?
Is that not what dwarves do?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm the metric by which
Carrying
he
on the
measures all
tradition.
dwarves.
Yeah.
Well, he only knew Lanston and now you. So, like, you're like and Ren, like, you guys are like the 3 shortest people he knows.
He's just, that's
Are
why
you
he's so freaked out by the jolly elves.
Are you okay?
I'm fine, Jamhorn. They don't have meat or ale here. It's okay.
What about your flask?
No, we do. We just don't serve it for breakfast, Duroc.
Oh, whatever. It's fine. The flask is going to stay in my bag.
Your hand's shaking quite a bit. Are you okay?
Yes.
You look like you're sweating.
I might be. A little restraint never killed anybody.
I
Jamhorn.
meditated all night. Did I mention my sweet +2 and language stuff?
Yeah. Now I can understand languages.
Are you going to be okay?
I'm going to be fine. Okay? Look. The days are a little brighter these days. All right? Look. I was in a dark place for a while after my wife died and my kids turned into total asshats. Turned into little butts.
No, one of them did. The other one is all right.
And one of my kids turned into a complete butt hat.
All right, guys.
But
So what's the
thank
plan
you.
for today?
Thank you, Ren.
We're gonna go to the Elven City.
Let's start
we can talk
making our way.
to Browernick. Where do we meet up with the resistance that's down there after we get out of this trunk place? So we go and talk to Browernick.
He was talking to you guys.
Yeah.
So I say we should go talk to Browernick.
Nikki.
just for any last minute kind of stuff, and then go.
Okay.
Yeah. We can maybe get a little information about where the resistance is held up
Okay.
in the Elven City.
Okay.
Sounds good.
We're hoping your friend Ian
Nestlerin.
Earth can help us. Thank you. Can help us get to Laurelin and talk to her mother.
Maybe she can even come with us.
Sure.
Absolutely. And if any of you others have a thirst for adventure and want to travel with the famous Ren and Friends, now's your chance.
Oh, you being serious?
Nope,
Absolutely.
nope. He was kidding.
Both of you are welcome.
He was kidding.
What? Oh,
And then you see the biggest eyes. They just like get impossibly big, and they start shimmering.
what, you don't want us to
Jamhorn,
go
I'm
with you?
pretty sure you just made the naughty list.
Oh,
I don't know what that means.
Oh, he's definitely on the list.
Look, he doesn't mean it. Okay, ginger nuts and buttons. He doesn't mean it.
I'm Buttons. He's Ginger Nuts.
Please, from the bottom of my heart, accept my apology.
All right.
Look, buttons, ginger nuts,
Yeah?
you guys are welcome to adventure with us.
No, we just like messing with him. It made him sad.
Well, that did make me a little happy.
I know it would. That's why you're on the nice list. You're my friend.
I look at Jamhorn.
He's authentically creeped out.
Anyway, the adventure of a lifetime is on the table if any of you want to come. Otherwise,
Duroc, that's very nice of you. Brower Nick addresses you. It's very nice of you, but I need them here. I can, of course, spare Nestlerin because she has to go with you.
Because she's worthless.
No, because she's going to bring you through the town.
Yeah.
She's
Otherwise,
super useful.
you would be
Yeah.
nothing, and you
I'm
would
just
probably
kidding.
be killed.
yeah,
Just
you like being
kidding.
killed, Jamhorn?
I'm kidding.
You like being killed? Answer me.
Yes, sir.
What about Bloodsport? Can he come?
Yeah, Jamhorn, you like being killed?
Anything for you, sir.
I knew it. Shut up.
I love this dynamic. Bloodsport, you can come too.
Unfortunately, my friend, I have to stay here. I have to plan with Nikki. I have to become more attuned with the darkness to help with the light.
Totally understand.
That sounds awesome, and
It's because I'm a necromancer, so you understand the metaphor, of course.
I knew that.
can you bring back just the dragon that my great-grandfather killed and have it duke out with the other dragon?
Do you have the carcass?
No,
The
but
carcass!
we can find it.
Wait,
And this is fresh.
I'm sorry.
I
Say
cannot
that
do
again.
nothing.
Oh,
So I want to pull out some of my pamphlets about Ulagan, and like if you're interested in death and corpses, you should read more about Ulagan.
What's this?
dangerous.
Let me see.
I hand him the pamphlet on Ulagan.
Ulagan, you say?
He's quite an amazing god.
You think so?
He is, yes. You should do a little more research on him.
Because you are the leader of Ren and Friends. I would, of course, read this for you in my spare time. But I have to go commune with death. Excuse me. And he turns around and walks away.
have a good one, Bloodsport.
And you overhear a conversation with a guy that's like, "Hey,
Now,
Edwin."
did that guy die last time we saw him, or did he survive? Like, is he that awesome that he died and then, like,
No,
just
he
kept
was
living?
like fighting outside, I think. I don't think he actually died.
Ren is correct.
Would have been cool, though. I mean, he's communing with death. He could have died and
it was
just
the-
kept alive.
The blacksmith that got the arrow to the throat, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was your friend that sent you on to get Dracula's River
yeah.
initially.
That's right.
You can do it, Durock. Roll a history check.
Yeah, that's what
Right
you
on the
do.
tip of my tongue. Pretty high. 18. 19. Valtread. Boulder grip.
You got it.
Boom. History check worked.
It works in real life.
Yep.
That's crazy. Okay,
So, what would you like to do?
let's go, guys. Nestlerin.
Grab our elf friend.
Ren and
let's go.
Friends. On me. And I stand in front of the first archway.
I stand awkwardly close.
Oh, and they realize that I'm still in, like, my bathrobe.
Oh yeah, I got dressed.
So I get dressed really quick.
I have all my things.
Okay. Good.
I don
Is
my armor.
Is there an armory that we can maybe? Okay.
Is there any loot here?
Yeah. Can I loot our safe space?
They give you some rations and that sort of stuff.
Okay.
You've had a rest. You've taken a shower if you wanted.
Absolutely.
Dwarves
Dwarves are very clean.
Yeah, would have done that.
And they've loaded up your supplies, so you've got some rations. Last you probably about 2 days, in case you get lost or something like that. But the trip shouldn't take that long. And so you're standing in front of Archway 1.
Absolutely.
I reach out for hands.
Grab some belt loops.
Does anybody grab my hands?
You feel me reach around for
Okay.
your
I
belt
got-
loop.
I got Ren. Duraki, are you with me?
Here you go.
We grab hands. Nestlerin?
She does not grab your hand. She
All
has
right.
her hands positioned behind her back, like a
Like
kung
in
fu
protest?
master.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. Ready? Set.
Go.
And we walk.
Okay, so you walk under the archway, and you realize that there is a doorway there with stairs leading up.
Oh.
It's going to be awkward to hold
I let go of the
whole
hands.
time.
That's why I did it that way.
I thought this was going to be a lot more dramatic, Jamhorn. Let's just...
It was a
I
magical
thought it was a
arch.
portal or something.
Yeah. I could tell that you guys did, so I was like, I'll let this play out.
All right. I'll take point.
Awkwardly, kind of.
Yeah.
Well, I guess now that we're not holding hands. So you guys can walk up the stairs if you like.
I'll go last.
Okay.
Ren's right behind me, as usual.
And then Nestlerin behind Ren.
Okay.
Sure.
Let's do
So
it.
you guys walk up, and Durock, once you get to the top of the stairs, it's dark, and you can kind of tell that it's the top of a trunk lid.
Been here before.
I'm used to this. Then I open up the trunk lid,
Okay.
and I climb out of it.
And as he does that, I look behind me. He's like, "What should we expect when we walk out of this trunk?"
And as soon as the lid is up, you notice that there is a you're sort of in
Tammy?
the forest. Sort of in like a, it's not too thick, too heavy, that sort of thing. If you guys would like to climb out, you can.
Absolutely. I climb out.
Okay. Everyone else follows?
I do.
Okay.
Belt loops.
So when you climb out, you see that this trunk is kind of like very coolly hidden in what looks like the base of a very, very, very large tree. And so, like, the big root that is sort of sticking out of the ground, it's like it popped out of that. And so when you shut the trunk lid, it kind of becomes flush again with, like, the root of the tree. And you notice there's just, like, the slightest sort of, like, little engraved dent that, on passing, you wouldn't know it, but you know that that's for you to stick your finger in so you can pull up on the lid.
Okay, good. Because I was going to carve something into the tree if there wasn't something identifying it. Yeah.
I'm glad. Well,
J+.
now I'm mad. I'm mad that I said it because that would have been fun.
I carved my initials into the tree anyway. For
Really?
fun.
Jamhorn, I
Yes
don't
or no?
think that's wise.
11 and above, yes. 9, I do not.
Okay.
Smart move.
You notice that the branches above you seems to relax as you walk away, not with the knife.
Oh, thank God he didn't carve into me. I'm tired of people carving into me.
So you turn around and you look south, and sort of, it's very sparse trees because they are so large. But sort of through the tree line, you realize that there's a city similar to Würzburg in the fact that it's on a hill, but as the mountain and the hill goes up, the trees almost seem to become thicker and more dense, and it would seem that the top of the mountain used to be just one large piece of wood, or it was one large tree. And they have carved, similar to Würzburg, the entire city out of the mountain side, quote unquote. But it's all wooden. And it's all within what used to be like this very, very, what would seem like the largest tree anyone has ever seen. As big as a mountain. But the entire city is carved out of wood, and you sort of see it.
Kind of like Burn Gold.
Or Avatar style. That's what I'm...
Never seen it.
Oh. Yeah. It's a shame.
So, what would you like to do?
Nestlerin.
Wait. Okay, go ahead.
Is that Laurelin?
Yeah, we're in the Laurelin Forest right now.
Can I do like a history check or something to see if I recognize this tree and where we are?
Sure.
He doesn't.
You don't know. I might have a plus 20 history.
Yeah, I don't think you do, Jamhorn.
6 total.
So what do you want to check?
I just want to see if I recognize the area at all.
You've never been here.
Okay. Well, I don't know where we are, guys.
Perhaps you can take it straight to your mother, Laurelin.
That's the forest.
Perhaps you can take it straight to your mother, Nestlerin.
Well, we have to go through the city. So, you guys set off towards the city, or what?
Yep.
Great. Walking montage. Walking, everybody's talking. Walking, hey. So, as you're walking through the forest, it's very nice. It's very, very peaceful. There's not much going on. You guys can talk about whatever you want, if you want to talk about the information that you have or whatever, but you're just being led south by Nestler, and she just sort of went up front since she knows where to go, and you're being led south.
For flavor, I'd like to add that the sort of like the serenity of the woods.
Will you point that towards you so you're talking into the diaphragm of the microphone?
Sorry. Thought I was. For reference, the serenity of the woods feels like the serenity of some of the deeper tunnels of Würzburg. That's my flavor as Durak.
Okay.
I do feel like Jamhorn, while it's been a long time since he's been in this area or, in this kind of a setting, he's starting to feel that connection again to nature that he kind of lost while being in the city.
Okay.
Ren's going to look around and see if there's any signs of maybe like dragons have swooped through and burned some areas or something.
No.
No, nothing like that.
It looks
No burned
pristine to
areas?
you.
Beautiful. Okay.
It looks beautiful. It's a nice day. Nice day. if you guys would like to roll perceptions or anything like that, if you'd like to think you want to do something,
I'd like to ask Nestlerin a question.
Sure.
What is it that kept Baramis out of this place?
Oh, my mother.
Oh?
Oh. I mean, I love her, obviously, but she is the worst. No one dares cross her. I'm actually very surprised that that Baravan went as far south as he did. Especially, I mean, I don't know if he knew that I was there, but she will likely not be happy because I have not been able to send word to her. So, once she sort of caught up to speed, you know, if you're looking for a war, she might be the lady to help you out because she's kind of got a temper.
I can't wait to meet her.
How does she wage war? What kind of army can she muster?
Well, we have obviously our entire elven army, which is very elite, very prestigious. We have creatures that we use, but we also have machines, mechanics, simple devices, flying devices, ground devices, but hard to transport the ground devices for long periods of time, but the flying devices, very effective.
At fighting dragons in the sky?
Oh, I wouldn't. If you have a multitude of them, but at the same time, it's like putting a fully trained adult against a group of 10 children. Eventually, the numbers are all going to get swatted down.
So you seem to think that your mother is a little power hungry and easily angered?
I wouldn't put it that way. I wouldn't say power hungry, as I didn't say that.
Well, that's the impression I got.
Well, then your impression is incorrect.
If she were to go to war, would she just maybe continue on and conquer this whole continent?
No,
Okay.
she doesn't want war.
Ren.
She's well respected and feared because the times that she has had to go to war, people don't survive.
What's
Would
her...
you...
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, you... Go ahead.
Ren,
So what I was going to say...
would you say a tsunami is power hungry? Maybe a volcano? No? I get the feeling
I'll
that...
answer for you.
I get the feeling that Madame Earth is a force of nature. That's all I wanted to say. Sorry, I interrupted you, Jamhorn.
No, that was good. What I would ask Nestlerin is, what's her motivation? Like, what's the thing that drives her? Like, how can we make sure that she is on our side?
Well, I'm with you, and she's not the one waging war, so why would you be so distrusting? Have you heard anything from the elves in 500 years?
It's been a long time.
I'll tell you that the answer is no.
He'll answer for you. Or she'll answer for you.
Forgive me. It's been a long time since I've been around my old people. The customs and the communication is just not... I can't speak with my own people anymore. I've been talking to this loser for who knows how long.
No.
And so that's what I'm used to now. I
What do you
mean
mean by
loser.
that?
I mean loser in a respectful way, of course, Durak.
I was kind
And
of
she
washed
says,
up when we met.
sure, and then she winks at you.
So I don't know. I just...
Jamhorn, my great-grandfather said that we can trust Ian Earth. Or something. Maybe he didn't really say that, but... Whatever, we'll find out, I'm sure.
Well, so I feel like there was a miscommunication here because it's not that I distrust or have any mistrust. It's that I want to know how can we garner her support for our cause.
Having me with you is good cause.
Is that all it
Having
takes?
the town that I was stationed in destroyed is good cause. And having a Dragon's Bane with you is also good.
Even though it's this one, and I point my thumb at Durak.
I didn't know the previous one, but I can only imagine that
He'll
they're all
have to
very
do.
similar.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll tell you that my father was a disappointment to Hiruk. So,
Oh, this should go really well then.
but I'm not.
Okay.
I'm more like Hiruk than anybody. I mean, let's get real.
I want to take in the surroundings. if I
Okay.
can.
Just roll me a perception then.
11.
Okay. Then you're noticing that the trees are starting to thin out. The town, if you will, the mountain wooden town is coming up, and you're just about to break the clearing. And very similar to Würzburg, and you wonder if it's actually just a landmass trait. There seems to be a watered ditch in between the two elements. And over this is a long wooden, very immaculate bridge. The finest polished wood you've ever seen. And it's 200 feet long. And it just looks like the best dinner table, best, woodwork you've ever seen.
Durak recognizes this.
Jamhorn, because it's almost like he's slipping back into his natural behavior of being with other elves.
Like code
He doesn't notice it. Like if he were to stop and it was pointed out to him, hey, look at this craftsmanship, he would be like, yeah, it's really good. That's kind of what we're known for. But
Yep.
He's just kind of walking through, not really paying any mind to it.
Okay.
But he's not as sacrilegious as Durak to his own craftsmanship.
I recognize the craftsmanship of this bridge is superior to dwarven craftsmanship.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. I'm not as... I don't hate on my own.
See, the problem with dwarves is they try too hard.
Okay.
They try too hard.
And
This
daddy
is
issues
effortless.
with Durak Dragon's Bane.
So, as Ren likes to do when he comes across like a big flat surface, a big behemoth of a structure,
Okay.
he'll pull out his drum and kind of bang out a beat and see what the reflective nature of it is. Just kind of here for it.
Okay.
Durak steps in time to the beat.
You're noticing then as you're drumming the way that the way that it's crafted, the way that the sides are, and it's very elaborate. Think of it almost as like a smaller but wooden version of like the Golden Gate Bridge type of thing. It's got very nice flowing archways, all sorts of things. But the way that it is built, it's about a 6 foot side rail that goes along the whole thing. And it's sort of just nicely echoing as you go along. You're just like, oh wow, it's almost as though the bridge is balanced perfectly for sound.
Is it shaped like a taco?
No.
Oh.
Durak just instinctually, falling back to old army habits, steps in time to the drums.
Okay. So as you're walking along, up ahead, you see that you're getting to the end and where there's an entrance to the city, and you'll notice that there are 4 very elite-looking elven guards standing at the entrance to the city, and they sort of, if it could be any more possible, stand up straighter and stiffen a little bit more in their posture. And one of them sort of puts up his hand, or you think it's a he. They're a little ambiguous, and
Maybe to you.
and says, "Halt." Who goes there?
I'll slow down my beat a little bit,
Okay.
play a little lighter.
Oh,
I don't speak up. I want if Nestlerin would
Yeah.
like to speak up.
Kind of nudge her.
I look to Nestlerin to see if she's going to speak. If she doesn't speak, I speak.
she doesn't. She just stops and she looks at you guys with a slight smirk on her face.
And when I see she doesn't smirk or say anything, I kind of nudge Jamhorn.
Hello there, guards people. I am Jamhorn Doril, and this is my close confidant, Nestleren Earneth. Wait, Earneth. I just have a hard time saying it.
That's all right.
And these are our travel companions.
Oh. And like they sort of relax just a tad at the Earneth name. And one of them comes forward and, puts his hand on Nestleren's shoulder and says, I'm so glad that you're okay. We were worried about you. You're here to see your mother? And she says, yes, me and my companions bring news of the war. And they start to lead you through the city.
I'll pipe up, I'm Ren.
And the elf just sort of looks down and back at you, scowls, and keeps walking.
And I stop playing my drum.
So, as they lead you through the city, it's remarkably like Würzburg. There's city all around. There's shops to the left and to the right, and it just seems to be this carved. When you think that there's like an open area, and you think that it couldn't be all connected, you look up and you realize, oh no, that's actually connected to this part of the tree. So they have carved the city completely out of the side of this massive, massive tree, and everything is somehow connecting. Somehow, even if it looks like it's free floating or whatever, it's all supported somehow. And you're going through, and like I said, very similar to Würzburg, you go through the center of town, and you are brought up. You're brought up to what looks like the main part where the government would be, the little fancy building right in the center. And he says, go through there. You know the rest of the way. And Nestleren says thank you, and she starts to lead you into the building.
I follow.
All right. So she takes you through, and as you're going through, she's like, okay, down that way, those are stables. Down that way is our armory. It's different. We don't use a lot of metal armory, and that's sort of, we like to be free flowing and light. But training grounds, we have underground, sort of training grounds in the area, but we also have like open areas where we've carved areas out. It's very, very cool. That's why I liked Brauernick's. It kind of reminded me of home in a lot of ways. Like there's a training area with so many different options for adventure, and Brauernick really kind of embraced the elven way of training, like train for every occasion. As she starts to ramble and she's just kind of, and she's like, and over there, that's where they make the swords, and I used to love going there as a little girl. And down there that's the bow maker, and it's the same family for thousands of years, the same family. And she's just freaking out and kind of like nerding out on all of her stuff. And
how long has it been since you've been home?
Oh gosh, years at this point. I mean, I've been training with Brauernick for, even though we're her latest recruits, we've been with her for a long time. There was trials that we had to go through in order to get to her. There's in order to be part of Brauernick's training guard, you have to apply, and they come out and they do an immediate sort of a skill test with you, and then they give you a quest that you have to do that brings you to our training ground. And if you make it there, then you get to train. And it's been over 2 years of my life since I've been home, but a little bit under a year with Brauernick. My mission was rather difficult, but
you seem very at home here, and you seem to have missed it.
Yes, it's nice to see everything again, and in a lot of ways to see that it hasn't changed, knowing what's going on in the world.
What made you decide to go with Brauernick instead of stay here and pursue a similar career?
I respect my mother's career, but in her younger years, she was a warrior. She was someone who went out into the world and made a difference. She fought, and she was very, very young, but she was around for battle with Zarvog, and I want to I think it's best when you live as long as we do to see the world, to know people, to understand the way and then that helps you make better, more informed decisions.
So I'm going to think back and do a history check on Saravog, this war.
Zarvog.
Yeah.
That
That's
is
the dragon.
That's the dragon that his grandfather Hiruk slayed with
okay.
Drakenstoter back in the day.
Okay.
Episode 1 gives you the full story. But Zarvog the Red, I believe it was what it was.
Yep.
And he was the dragon was attacking and destroying the city in 7 days forge, 7 days or whatever it was, and then Drakenstoter slayed. So as she's going off, you realize that you've gone through the city, and then all of a sudden she's like, "Oh, we're here," and she just knocks on the door, and then without waiting for a response, she enters into this nice big main chamber that looks fit for someone of the person's station that they are, and in front of you is a very regal, very elegant, probably very much near the end of her lifespan, but at the same time, that sort of old where you're just like, you're in far too good a shape.
Helen Mirren.
And yeah, for sure. And standing in front of you is Nestlorin's mother, and she runs to her, and she's mother, and she like runs up to her, and the mom doesn't show any emotion at first, and her daughter stops and salutes the way that any other soldier would salute. And as soon as she salutes, her mother breaks into a big smile, and they embrace. And, they chit-chat a little bit, and then she goes, "Who are the people that you've brought with you?" She says, "Come, introduce yourselves."
What?
Hey, I'm Ren.
Hello, Ren.
And I'm Jamhorn.
And I step forward and I kind of
Jamhorn.
like hand on the hilt of the sword and like kind of bring it, like, I press it just a little bit to the front a little bit more, and I say, and I'm Durak.
Do you say your last name?
I just want to see if she works it out. Come on.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Ren, Jamhorn, Durak, welcome. Why are you with my daughter?
So you see, this
Funny story.
This our friend here, he summoned a dragon, and now it's kind of wreaking havoc.
Who summoned a dragon?
This is Durak Dragon's Bane. I don't know if you've met him before or heard about him.
Dragon's Bane.
I love Ren.
To be clear, I didn't summon a dragon, okay?
Wasn't that your blood and your sword? That
Oh,
kinda
yeah,
made it?
Ren. Yeah,
there
it
was a
Thanks.
Yeah, and the dragon came out of it. I'm just
I was
saying.
but a piece of the scheme. It was against my will, I assure you.
Regardless, here we are now. A dragon has been summoned.
And she's just looking straight at the hilt of the sword. Is that it?
I remove it from its sheath
The guards tense around you for a second
and I hold
until
it out.
she waves them off.
And I hold it out to her.
How do you extend it to her?
She cuts
Like
off your head.
Like this, like blade, like...
Well, for the listener.
So, yeah, I'm basically like holding it lengthwise in both of my hands, kind of like against, like between, the top of my index finger,
Okay.
so that she can grab the hilt, kind of,
She waits for you to extend the hilt so the sharp end is pointing towards you, as any person who gives a sword to somebody would know that you do.
So I hold it out, and when she looks like she wants to grab it, I
All right.
give her, I extend the hilt
You
right
proffer
towards
the
her.
hilt to her? Okay.
Yeah.
She grabs it, and you hear her mutter something under her voice, or under her breath a little bit. And it sounds like two elven words. She goes, "You found it. Interesting. So the legends were true. Your grandfather did hide it."
I suppose he did.
And you see her eyes sort of bright up, and you start light up, and you start to see like the sort of little kiddishness that you just saw in Nestler, and like, so he completed the mausoleum then?
Yes.
We're grave robbers. We got it. from his grave.
Ren is obsessed with death for some reason. Don't mind him.
He's the Orin.
Let me tell you about Ulagan.
Oh, you're a follower of Ulagan.
Oh, you've heard of him?
Of course I have. I've been around for a while.
Oh, well, you know how wonderful he is. And do you have any churches of his here?
He's not for me, but people are allowed to worship as they will in this city, of course. But he's not for me.
Well, I would love to say a prayer before, our next meeting.
Of course. If that's what makes you feel comfortable, I respect that. Now, she's looking at the sword and she's just like, the craftsmanship. And as she hands it back to you, she proffers it the same way with the hilt towards you and sort of mutters under her breath those same 2 words that you heard before. And she's like, I can't believe you found it.
You and me both.
Can I roll a perception to see if I know the elven words she said?
Yes, you can.
17.
Then you will have heard her the second time say under her breath, Pandryl Mace. Pandrylmase. Pandryl Mace, which you know in Elven means dragon rider.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, only you have that information.
I smile as she hands it back to him because I know he doesn't know.
I accept the sword back.
Okay.
I give her a slight nod.
Okay.
And I resheath it.
All right. So, I have heard of the Versberg. I've heard of the uprising. And, well, your friend says that they have a dragon. It's your fault, Dragonsbane. Classic. I was very worried about my daughter. I'm glad that you've brought her to me. I'm glad that she is safe. And our other agents, they are being taken care of?
Absolutely.
They're safe?
Yeah, they're in like a place that's,
You don't have to tell me.
okay. Yeah.
Just
Most
yes
of
or
them.
no is fine.
Some of the important ones, yeah. The less important ones,
Just say yes or no.
yes.
So Baravan. Baravan has himself a dragon. What is his end? Tell me.
I wish I knew. That dirty old bag of dung.
So he seems to have sent the dragon out to do some dirty business, and it was frightened away by something in the sky. Do you have anything to do with that?
I have no idea until I've just recently heard of the attack.
You see,
You have no information on why he would have attacked or anything like that?
I just assume it's because he's a war-hungry monster.
Not that you would have been given any sort of information in the last time that you were...
He was trying to flush out some of the resistance.
He said he's trying to flush out the underground.
That seems like far less and beneath something. It seems to me as though if you were to have a dragon and you were to go attack towns and create chaos, it would make it easier to control the people in the towns and cities around. But that's just me spitballing. Maybe that's something you'd heard.
I don't know about controlling people.
Oh my gosh.
However,
Jamhorn yells out, "Ants! Like ants!" to Durak.
yeah, sure, keeping the ants in line.
There you go. Keep saying. Keep talking.
Oh, so you do have information about...
I have it on good authority that Baravan is not what we think he is.
All of you are welcome to speak, by the way.
Yeah, please. Instead of making fun of me from the sidelines, Jamhorn.
I wasn't. I was just trying to help you out.
Ren's the only one with any respect in this party.
Yep.
Look, Baravan may not be what he seems to be.
Oh, what does that mean?
Don't know. I heard it from Hiruk.
Hiruk. Interesting. So the sword gives you power to talk to somebody?
I don't know much about the sword yet. I'm working on that. But yes, apparently I can...
What about you?
Somebody,
little
please.
one? She looks at Ren. Do you have any sort of information that this befuddled and stuttering dwarf cannot seem to communicate with me?
So all I really got to say is Ulagon has been sending me out to save people through his grace and his power. I've learned that the Emperor has sent this dragon out to strike fear in the hearts of all of the townspeople to gain control of the hearts and minds.
Oh, now that sounds like the plan of an evil maniac.
Did I get there with ants in a line?
Oh, your friend helped you.
We tried to get you there.
We're like a solid unit.
What about you, half-elf?
The thing that really struck me though is the dragon from the information we got was frightened away or was drawn away by some kind of light or fire or something red and yellow from was it the south or was it the north?
At first, the
It was a
south
white
was a
light
white light.
from the south.
North was the colored lights.
Yeah.
And then it was an orange and red light.
So there seemed to have been like a conflict within the dragon to stop it from attacking the city.
So it would seem that Baravin does not have complete control
Yeah,
of the dragon.
There's another player that we're unaware of, and we were hoping it was you, but
Yeah.
It isn't
Damn.
yet.
Hmm?
Hmm.
Hmm.
That's
Time stuff?
interesting.
Time cop? What?
You saw
Bloodsport?
a white flash from the south,
Well, look.
and Nestlerin
Oh, thank you.
nods. You saw a white flash from the south. And then the dragon disappeared.
from what we heard, it flew into the sky.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Straight into the sky.
Yeah,
Straight up into the
straight
sky. And then
And couldn't be seen. And then there were more explosions to the
more
north.
explore.
And they seem to like move to the north.
Well, this elf looks very perplexed for a moment, and then almost a realization crosses her face. And she looks up at you, and she says, I have a task for you. It will be difficult. But if you can complete it, you may just turn the tide of this war. And with that, that's where we leave it for this week.
Yeah.
Difficult's my middle name.
I'll say.
Yeah, I've been your DM and host for this week, Bentley Michaels. To my right, we have
Caleb is Jamhorn Doril.
Rhett is Durok Dragon's Bane.
Milo's run.
Grab your swords and keep on adventuring.
Follow us across all platforms with Chaotic Amateurs. Please subscribe, rate, and review our show on your podcast app of choice to help us climb the charts and find new adventurers. Or become a patron on Patreon to help our heroes continue their quest. Thank you for listening to Chaotic Amateurs.